Remember to guard your privacy and abide by your should be opening a web browser. Okay, so it shows me on. It shows me as live. What is going on here? So if I go here and I go to here and I go to here, it says I'm live, and if I go here, oh cool, it's working. And I go to here, it says I'm live, and if I go here, all right. Welcome to the channel. Oh, it's working. We're doing a live stream. Kind of delayed there, but this is very cool. Let me let's stop that. Okay, let's close that down. I was just testing that to see if it was working. We'll leave that up. We'll leave that there. Don't need that. We'll leave that there. Yeah, I was checking out your guys' comments. Thanks for leaving the comments. Really appreciate it. Okay, so what I did was I took the flotation thingies off the plane and I just made it basic, right back down to the basic plane. I figure, like I say, once I buy an airstrip and I can launch a larger plane, we'll make a real aircraft that can take off on the land on the water, take off on the water, and also land on the land. I have a helicopter that can do that already. I don't think I'll make another one. I have 3 or 4 helicopters. Haven't really played around much with the airplanes, so I'm just still getting into that now. Like, if you've watched the videos that I have, most of them were ships. I can do ships, no problem. Pretty much have that figured out. But we'll be getting back into that a little bit as well. Yeah, so what I am doing, oops, I'll just go through this, explain. So what I'm trying to do is, these rudders here control the pitch of the plane. So it's telling me that there's a little bit too much weight in the front and not enough weight in the back. I have it reasonably balanced. So the old setup, let's delete this one. It's not going to be the old setup. You would punch in the altitude you wanted. The rudders would turn us to a certain degree that I would set. You couldn't set it. It was just set into the plane. And then it would go up or down with that degrees. What I've done instead is I get it to read the altitude. So whatever your altitude is, you turn it on. It remembers that. It's supposed to remember that altitude. And uses that as its bearing. And when it goes below the altitude, the rudder turns on. The plane goes up. When it goes above the altitude, the rudder turns on and the plane goes down. And that's basically it. That's what I've been trying to work on. After that, the only other system that we'll need after that, really, will be, I'll have to add a fan to the front of the plane and a fan to the bottom of the plane, so that way when we can hover. I'd like to be able to just hover off the ground with the jet engines, and then the fan are going to keep us stable so we don't list forward or list backwards. So that'll be the very last thing. And then this plane will be really neat. It'll be able to hover over the water and do all that kind of stuff. So the inputs, we can look at the inputs here. Now, I don't know how this is going to look on the stream. This might be a little shady. I know when my graphics card isn't the best. When the new GPU arrives, it should be a lot better. But when I get a lot of data, it tends to slow down a little bit. Yeah, anyways, so this is our microcontroller. We have our pitch here. And what comes into the pitch, we have our altitude sensor. And then it goes to this switch, which allows me to use my manual controls from the seat. And then it allows me to use this setup. So what we're going to do, we're going to go into the microcontroller. All right. Open it up. It looks like a mess. It really is simple. Uh, this was our pitch value coming in from our keyboard, which we're not using anymore. So we have our altitude, which is our altimeter, and then we have our constant number, which is our rudder degree, right? Full 90 degrees is 1, and 0 is 0 degrees. So we're trying to divide 90 degrees into 10, I guess, which would be 9, right? Something like that, 99. So as I was explaining, when the aircraft reaches its altitude, it should fly. It flies reasonably flat, right? But right now there's a little more weight in the front than in the back, so it tends to nose down. It doesn't nose down enough that it gets triggered by our greater than or less than. Is it the greater than or less than for this one? Yeah, you know what? So I think I might redesign this. The idea is that you push a button at the altitude and it holds that altitude. And then you'll push another button, it'll reset it here, which we need to connect to. And then you can enter a new altitude and then it'll hold that altitude. And it holds that altitude by using a greater than and less than. So if the altitude, the number, is greater than our current altitude, then the rudder changes and it does what it needs to do. And vice versa, right? When it's too low, it goes up, and when it's too high, it goes down. Right. So what is happening right now that it's not working? Well, that I'm not sure. It seems like the rudder doesn't want to turn up. So it seems like I use this memory register, and it says there's a number to store. So what I did was, as I said, well, the number that I want it to store is the altitude number. Oh, maybe that's where I messed up. This part's automatic, but this part, yeah, and then I just set it so it's always on. Oh, maybe that's the problem. Maybe that is the problem. And so it reads that at 12, whatever, as soon as I turn it on. Yeah, that's what it's supposed to do, as soon as you turn it on. So if you're at 400 altitude, it should read that at 400, and then you should stay at 400 and say, okay, if we're above 400, go down. If we're below 400, go up. That's the idea here. And then these are the rudder values that I have set. And then what I did was there's a neutral value, and I actually changed the neutral value to see if that was the problem. If maybe the neutral value was throwing off this, but I'm just not too sure. It just seems like the memory register part isn't working. And it might have something to do with the constant on signal. This here. So what I'm thinking I might need to do is I'll need 2 more inputs. 1 and 2. And this will be, look at that, that's the end of this microcontroller. Input, this will be set, alt, and then this will be reset, altitude, just like that. And then we'll go back into it. Where are we here? Reset and set, and then set will set it, and then reset will reset it. Okay, so we'll update that. And then what we need to do is get rid of this one. And this will say, this one here will say set altitude, and then we'll say reset. This I think can just be a button, actually. I don't know if it has to be a constant. Maybe this just has to be a push button as well. Let's try that. Set alt. Reset altitude. Right, and then I just kind of do that. Do that. Okay, so to set the altitude, we're going to run that through here. And then to reset the altitude, oh, we also need to no, that has to be a toggle switch. This one unfortunately has to be a toggle switch. Turns that on, and it should turn that on. So that way, if you're climbing, map zoom, what's going on there? No power, okay. All right, let's test that out. Let's see, let's save that. Okay, let's hop in it. All right, try and explain what's happening here. It's bouncy. If I put any more weight on the back of the plane, it's not going to, it won't sit here. But I think actually what I also, the other thing I'll need to do is, it seemed like these tires needed to go down. There we go. Now they're right at the bottom. It seemed like I needed to do that. Yeah, there we go. Now I could probably add a little more weight to the back side of the plane. All right, what do we got here? Turn on the lights, systems. Turn this up to 40. Turn that on. Switch that into that mode. Stabilizer. All right. Right, it'll fly on its own. It'll fly really good on its own without these computers. I would just like to have push a button and now it flies straight. So the propeller plane does that. I've dialed it right in, and I did a mission at the airfield, and it was 32 kilometers, and I just pushed the button and it flew 32 kilometers, maintained its altitude. It was cool, actually. So now the other issue that we have with the small jet engines is they don't produce RPS. So I'm going to have to put a generator in here. I'll have to put a small engine in here in the back That's going to add some weight. So I'm hoping, and a fuel tank. Yeah, this will be a neat little, right? Then once we get the fan in the front and the fan in the rear, I can use the jet engines to hover. So now before the pitch was automatic, it would lift off and then would pitch. Now you have to control that part of it. It's no big deal. Once I figure it out, I'll have a switch in there again. There we go. Yeah, you see it just needs a little more weight in the front, or a little more weight in the back. Whoa. We're not going to space. So it flies well. You know, it's reasonably stable. And then so what I'm doing is I'm just waiting for, we'll come down on the horizon here. Check our altitude. Okay, that's pretty good. We set our altitude to that. And then we'll see. You see, we're still slowly losing altitude. And that, I believe, has to do with the weight. Because that, I know that rudder is trying to turn, but it's just not turning enough. Speed is good. The 40 on the throttle is perfect. I mean, it's balanced. Well, as you can see, I'm not doing anything. So what I'd like to do is set the altitude. Yeah, something's going on. I'm not too sure what. Either that, just the rudder is not sufficient to maintain the altitude, right? Like you see right now, in order for me to maintain this, I don't know what rudder angle that is, but we'll have to measure it. All right, so let's do that then. This is all I've been doing. Load the autosave. We'll put a dial down. And we'll see what degree that is. Yep, Merry Christmas, everybody. It's Christmas Eve. Doing a little Christmas Eve live stream. I've never done a live stream before, ever. So probably picking up all kinds of sounds, the computer in the background, whatever. Sorry about that. Like I say, I'll switch the setup around here in the new year and then make it more friendly. Yeah, it takes a little bit to spawn and to load. some music rolling in the background. Right, so what we'll probably do, who knows what we'll probably do. I always say what we'll probably do, and then we never do it. So let's see. Okay, so I need a display, is it? One of these, and then we gotta do, is it that way? And then I need to put the decimal point there. Alrighty, and then let's give it a backlight. Sure, it's dark out. And we want to read is there no because there's no way to read that angle. All right, well, let me see what else I can do here. Yeah, these are always going no matter what. And that's why I have the switch between the pilot seat and this. So we have our set altitude. And then this is our number to store, which comes from the altimeter. And then the reset value is 0, so it just resets it to 0. Which is fine, and then would have to push the button again. On off, reset, on off. I wonder if there's a better way. I just wonder if there's a better way of setting up this switch. Right, because I could have it set up the way I had it set up before, where it comes in from the keyboard, whatever the altitude is, and this will be plus or minus. As soon as it gets to the altitude, this is plus, this is minus. That seemed to work out. That seemed to work out better than this system here. I guess what I'd like is, let's see. I'll have to balance the plane is what I'll have to do if we do it this way. If we do that. So yeah, I try to think of every which way, and I'll test it every which way. Sometimes I'll test it every which way like 2 or 3 times. Just to make sure I've got it. Whatever it is that I'm doing. So that one there is to there. All right. And this will actually be, it won't be, yeah, it'll be altitude hold on, and then this one here will be Altitude hold value. Let's hold value. All right, that works. Pretty much it. So like I say, the only thing I could think of is this. Maybe this should be like again 0.3 back. This is it back to what I was doing before. Oh, and then I said I wanted some more weight. So let's figure this out. So what I was saying was we can't get any RPS from the jet engines. Oops. Sadly. So we need to actually make a little generator in the back of this plane. Can we do that? Let's see. Oh, we can do that. Okay, that works. And then we don't even need a fancy radiator. We can just put in a basic for the little engine. That's all it needs. Okay, and then we have our, which one's a fuel? That's our fuel. So I'm not sure what I want to do with fuel. This is probably exhaust over here. Oh, that's 2 panels I got to open up for that. All right, that's fine, I guess. Do that. Sure, and then if I need the air, will probably come through there. Oh, let's see. Oh, I can do that. Oh no, I can't do that. Look at the air intake right by the exhaust. That's awesome. That's just generated, right? No, it'll be all right. Come on, come on, come on. All right, so we want a tank. We want a fuel tank. Can I get this big one back here? Oh, we can. This is plenty of fuel for a teeny weeny little generator like this. This is plenty of fuel. Oh, that comes in over top. Even better. All right, and then basically, I don't know, probably run 2 generators off that, I think. Let's try it out, shall we? Okay, and then what I'll do, let's see. All right, so we need up front a generator bouton right here. And let's go with this. And this will be generator on. Okay, and then do we want a full throttle? Probably not. Probably, yeah. Let's see. Probably need at least a 0.2. We'll say. Okay. And then we need a switch, a number switch. Okay, then we need a threshold gate. Okay, and then what we want to do is we want to take the battery charge to here, and that's going to turn on the switch, which is going to give us our on value, and we need an off value of 0, and that's going to be our automatic throttle for there. And then what starts it? We could probably do that, actually. And then the threshold will be... I don't know how this is going to work, so... let's say 0.97. And let's go 0.99. So it'll start at 0.97 and it'll stop at 0.99. Let's see if that's gonna work. All right, we'll double check the setup. Double check the setup. All right, spawn it in. Let's see if it goes. Oh, whoops! I made a mistake. Also, it should turn that on as well. There we go. Look at that. Barely. And now we can fly the plane and we'll see how much weight that added to the rear. And then we'll see if I need to add more weight blocks. Obviously, I'll need to do something because the fuel tank will decrease in value over time. Let's see, lights, systems, turn this up to 40. I don't want to limit this just in case there's an emergency or something and I need just a little more power. Stabilize roll. Yeah, so there's the generator value there. So if the electric hits 90, whatever, 97, this should go green or white. I don't know if I change it to green. It'll turn on. Might take a while. Holy, it's getting busy in here. I don't normally... You know, there's just a little bit of room left. A couple of buttons. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, this side, plenty of room. I like buttons and stuff, right? Switches. I know I should use more of the smaller panels, the composite panels, but it takes so much time. And the touch screens, programming each button, and if I really like a build, I'll do that. So here we are, we're taking off. Oh, the generator's on. I better... change that, as it's constantly turning over. It's constantly turning over. Okay, so how do we just send like a Because this will be a constant signal. So it must have dropped below 99. Is that right? It went to 98 and it, how does that make sense? Oh, if it's between these values, it turns on. Yes, yes, yes. So we want it to turn on. What, lower than 90? I don't know. We'll just try and keep it at 99, to be honest. That's fine. Okay, so how do I... Let's see. We have... I could do it through... probably through a microcontroller, but I don't know if I have the logic. Just needs to be like not a counter. Okay, maybe I need a capacitor here. Let's see. So if we have a capacitor here, and we take this, and then we take this into here, and then we say charge time will be... Oh, but it's going to be constantly charging and discharging. See, that's the problem. I need like an on-off. Let's see here. Oops. I guess I could do no, because it has to be like a toggle. This is a toggle. No, we need a push. Push to toggle. Do we have the reverse of that? Yeah, because it's constantly going to be emitting a signal. And I don't need it. I don't need it to constantly be emitting a signal. It's either that or I have a button in the dash. Let's see. Let's see if I can run this through a existing microcontroller. Does this one have room in it? It does. So what are we trying to do? We need an input. We need an output. We need an input. Then we need an output. And the input is, this will be out to generator starter, and this will be threshold in. All right, so we have the threshold in, which is our constant signal, and then we just need because it'll be a constant signal. How do we change that to a not a constant signal. So it just throws a switch. Probably going to need one of these. Right, output, not output. Set. Gives us the output. And then it resets. That might be how we have to do that. So, let's test it out. This should go to the starter. And this should be in from here. All right. We'll need the generator when it comes to running the fans, because I'll need RPS. I'll need a source of RPS to run the fans. It won't have to be anything significant, because in theory the VTOL will be suspended by the jet engines, so it won't take much to, you know, push the nose up or down. Stabilize roll, VTOL on. All right, brakes. That's it, huh? Yeah, once the jet engines turn on, I'll start sucking back that power. So the generator should turn on here when it drops below 99. Well, you know, that could be why. That could be why as well. All right, let's see what happens here. Oh, there we go. So I should have a little panel which tells me how that generator is doing. I might have to speed it up, the generator up a little bit, or I don't even know if it's turned on. Here, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's see here. Put a couple of dials in here. Oops, dial. Let's see. This will be gen heat, and this will be RPS. 20 should be. Well, I guess it's got the. Which is which here? Heat. I don't think this the microcontroller worked. I think it's this. I don't think it's going to send the signal through the SR latch because we're setting it and resetting it right away. So see here. Let's see here. Yeah, charges and then discharges, but we don't need something like that. We need something that's a one-time. That's a one-time. Let's see if we did. That would be on. Oh no, that wouldn't work either. Push to toggle. Let's see. Toggle is on. No, that wouldn't work. A, not A. No, we don't need something like that. We don't need something like that. Yeah, the only thing I can think of is even that won't work. Outputs an on signal when the timer reaches this duration. And it won't reset until signaled. Oh, I see. When it reaches its timer, it turns on. All right, well, I'm going to solve this really quickly then if I can't do something like that. Let's see. Update that. Let's get rid of the threshold. Gate, and then we have 0 and 0.2, and I'll just give us a number. Where do I want the button to be? Sure, right there. Start generator. There we go, and then we can take this to here. Oh, and then also, I guess we don't need that. We don't need that. We'll save that. We'll save that for something else. I'm sure we're gonna need that for something else. All right, and then blue. Blue and blue, and then we'll go systems, there, and then what do we need? Electricity. Okay, that should be, and then our start button here. guess I'll need 2 buttons for the generator. Okay, well if we're gonna do that, then we may as well put in a throttle. Just to just so we'll do that. This would be the best all-around solution. And then that way I can actually see if these two actually work or not. Output, that doesn't really matter right now. Alright. Alright, we'll test this, and then I think we'll end the stream here for now. I'm going to go check on the bird that's in the oven. Should be getting ready to come out and be chopped up. So once again, I hope you're all having a Merry Christmas. I'm not checking the chats or nothing. I don't even know. Maybe there's one person watching. Who knows? Let's see. Lights and systems. And we'll go to 40 here. And we'll turn it on. And then we need to stabilize roll. We need to turn VTOL on. And then, I was going to check the generator too. Oh yeah, it's working. It's just not really producing, huh? Not really producing. Now, did I connect the generator to the battery? I did. So I wonder, I don't know if we can power a medium generator, but I sure would like to try. Let's see. This thing is huge. I really don't know. Let's give it a shot. Yeah. Oh, did that not even connect that? It doesn't look like it's even connected. It is, but I didn't connect it to here. All right. If it's too big, it won't even turn over. So. Oh, it's actually working. Wow. Oh, look at that. We're generating electricity. Wow, impressive. So now what I need is a fuel dial. Looks like 45 is where we want to be for that. It doesn't have to be generating a whole lot of power, just a little bit, right? And then we have the manual throttle. Okay, cool. So then let's test. Cool. Let's test that, and then we'll test the avionics that we added here, and then I'll end the stream, and I'll check on the bird, and then I'll come back. Once again, Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas. Thanks for subscribing. Thanks for liking. Thanks for watching. See how much weight that added. If it's not enough, I might have to add even more weight blocks to the rear of the plane. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Ooh. So smooth. And up we go wherever. This should be sufficient. Ooh. I thought maybe. Maybe I didn't connect it. Or did I connect that again? Yeah, is that what I did? See at 400, I guess. Right, so it reaches 400. There we go. But do you see the rudder? Something is wrong. Right? Something's wrong. Oh, look at that. We didn't go below 50, so it didn't... Yeah. Yeah, so anyways, it's a little bit more calibrating to be done with this little guy. I'll get it eventually here. It flies nice though. My goodness, it flies nice. It's just this here. And for whatever reason it doesn't see that angle. And then when it decides it wants to correct, it's too much. It's too much for the autopilot to try and correct out of. And watch here, watch the... Oh, we're going to bounce? Oh. All right. The benefits of VTOL mode. Yeah. See, it shouldn't dive. It shouldn't dive this hard. Well, anyways, thanks for watching. I'm going to end this stream here. Thanks for liking. Thanks for subscribing. You guys are awesome. I'll be back. Got to check on the bird.